number one trait that successful traders have. Hi, it's Charlie giving you Saturday's video. Hope you're very well. And I, this is one of those. I mean, there's loads of traits that you can have as a trader, but if someone had to say, well, what would be the number one trait that you would need, Charlie, if you look back over the years, then I would say tenacity. That, just that ethic of not quitting, of keeping on going. Because we all know that the market, as I always say to our traders, the market's there to knock you back. And the market will do its damnedest to knock you back. Even when you've just had a good run, then it'll knock you back. Or you're a beginner trader and it's knocking you back because you might not be doing it correctly, but you don't know. And so, but the number one trait that you need as a trader is that ability to pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and keep going. And I'm not talking about just carry on trading, if you've had some losses. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your overall work ethic in relation to trading. And again, I'm not talking about sitting there for 20 hours a day in front of your screens either. I'm talking about that never-ending desire to succeed, rather than becoming one of those traders who just gives it a go for 6 months and then says, oh, you can't do it, you can't trade because I haven't been successful, so no one can be. And that's what, there's a lot of people out there who are like that, whether it's trading or in any endeavor in life, isn't it? So you don't want to become one of those, but you don't want to get, everyone gets into trading thinking that they're going to be successful. And I can tell you right now that, as we know, 80% of traders are not going to be successful. So why is it that those 80% quit? And a lot of the time it's because there are a multitude of reasons, of course. Life gets in the way, all sorts of other reasons why people quit. But the bottom line is they have quit. So whatever the excuses might be, and that's fine because there's legitimate reasons. People might have all sorts going on in their lives, but the absolute, we cannot get away from the fact that they have quit. And if they've quit, it means they've given up. And some people will give up for the wrong reasons. They'll just say, oh, I tried it and it doesn't work. Or I tried it and I lost money. Whereas other people might legitimately have to quit because of other things, like I said. But in order to become that successful trader, you've got to at least have that tenacity to say, do you know what, I'm going to keep dusting myself off. Because even to this very day, myself as a trader, and I've been trading 24 years now, do you not think that I have my losing trades? Of course I do. Still have losing trades. I'm not even interested in being right. I'm not interested in being right. And what I mean by that is I only have to be right, let's say 50% of the time. So I don't need to worry about trying to be right 90%. It's lovely when you do have a winning spell, of course, and we all have them, where you just seem to have, several winners in a row. But for me and for my style, I know that I'm probably going to be more likely 40 to 50%, my strike rate. And the reason being is a lot of the reason because of that is because I'm not jumping in and jumping out of trades to try and pick a few pips, so to speak, in relative terms. I'm trying to get into trades which I'm usually trying to run. Now, the flip side to trying to run a trade is that the longer you're holding it, then the more likely that it might then come back down and stop you out as well. So some of them will run, and you'll get these lovely runs. I'm actually sitting in a trade right now that I got into right down here, and I'm still obviously sat in it up here. So from a risk reward perspective, it had a 20 pip stop initially right down some of those down there, and we're sitting at 121, so it was 117, about 400 pips, and it had 20 pip stop. So it's a 1 to 20 risk reward from some of those entries, and I've added along the way. I've had stop outs as well, but just had a stop out, fun enough, I think it was yesterday, from an entry I put in last Friday. So, it happens, but you have to dust yourself down as a trader and keep going. It doesn't mean overtrade. When I talk about keep going, I'm talking about not allowing yourself to become a statistic. Don't allow yourself to become that person who said, yeah, I gave it a go for 18 months and then I quit. So you have to just keep working at it. You've got to work your mindset. You can work on strategies, and yes, that's important. But as I always say, a strategy is nothing without the mindset. So you could go and trade a strategy, and the strategy has a bit of a losing period, and then you throw it in the bin, and then you move on to something else. Well, that's not great, is it? Especially if the strategy is actually overall robust. So, and then you see, what you have is a lot of people out there become strategy hoppers because they think that a strategy is the holy grail, and there's still people out there to this very day, who have been trading a long time, who think that strategies are the holy grail, and they're not. Strategies are part of what you are as a trader. The rest of it is your ability as a trader to take the losses, but dust yourself off and then carry on with your strategies that you're using, and then trade again and you get better at your overall trading. So don't ever think that once you've been trading for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years that it becomes easier. The market will still knock you back, but what does get easier if you work on your mindset is that you don't feel the emotions of those knockbacks as much. And so coming back to it, tenacity, work. Work does not mean working on strategies. Yes, that's part of what you do, but the biggest part is your mindset. You will not succeed as a trader just with a good strategy alone. And the reason being is because as soon as that good strategy has a losing period, you'll be chucking it in the bin or hesitating and then doing all sorts of going off script, so to speak, and then you'll hesitate after having a few losing trades, and then you'll miss the winners and all that type of stuff that goes on. Mindset is the key. Okay, so that's the number one asset I think that a trader can have. There's loads of assets that we all need to have, but without that ability to take the knocks, how are you ever going to get back up again? A little bit of food for thought there this weekend. By all means, add some comments here in the boxes below. Let's get a discussion going over the weekend. And as always, do give us a thumbs up if you like the videos and subscribe to make sure that you never miss any of our videos coming out. Take care for now. Enjoy your weekends.